It's time for some sports in the locker room 981. Smooth 98.1 Smooth Breakfast with Ayo Mairo Essay.
And Valentine.
Oh, who?
Mm-hmm.
Finish your name.
Thank you.
All right. So we're here with our sports aficionado, the one who eats, sleeps, and breathes. And I'm telling you guys, literally, I'm not even exaggerating. Sports. She's been up all night watching the ATP match between Team and Djokovic, and we'll be talking about that very shortly. We have the one, the only person who sleeps or doesn't sleep so that you can enjoy the show. Tega Supreme. Why are you yawning?
Hi, Tega.
Good morning, Lagos. That's not exactly why I don't sleep.
Why don't you sleep?
I sleep because I like the sports. It's not necessarily because I want them to enjoy the show. Let's not
wow.
lie. It's too early in the morning. All I ask, we go to hell. I don't want to go. Good morning, Lagos.
For the love of the game. Amazing. That's even deeper than doing it for the fans. Okay, Lagos. So if you'd like to be a part of the conversation, by the way, how many people stayed awake to watch the tennis? If you did, please send us a message. You deserve a round of applause. You can get in on the comment. Did you think I was going to give out like a car or something? You can get in on the conversation.
Yeah, we can give out Valska.
Oh yeah, Valska is nice. WhatsApp number to send your
Still not
message
getting it.
to is 0809 444 and on Twitter.
On Twitter, we're at Smooth981FM. The hashtag is LockerRoom981.
We're our YouTube family. We're live, so please go on there and get involved. See what's going on behind the scenes and send your message as well through the live chat option. So who's ready for some sports?
We all are.
Woo! Olympic Eagles revive Tokyo dreams with victory against Zambia. So Nigeria revived their chances of securing a place in the semi-final of the 2019 Africa Under-23 Cup of Nations with a 3-1 victory against Zambia yesterday evening. Pat Sindaka's effort was cancelled out by Orji Okonkwo before second half efforts from Kelechi Nwakali and Taiwo Awoniyi ensured the Olympic Eagles claimed maximum points at Al Salam Stadium. I'm smiling, I'm happy, excited.
Okay, first thing first. His name is Kelechi Nwakali.
What do I call him?
You have to learn how to pronounce it because it's your next superstar.
Nwakali.
Wakali.
High five, Val,
Thank you.
for the first time in your
Oh,
life.
you allow that iron to enter.
So yeah, like I said, your next superstar. So
Okay.
you have to be loving that name.
I have to.
He has to roll off your tongue very easily.
Mhm.
But yes, Imama, okay, I'm not going to try to pronounce his surname. Amapa Bo, I think, has managed, I would put this to correct his mistakes. I think my problem with Imama is that he really he's not proactive, he's reactive. So something has to spoil first before before you will correct it. I mean, he doesn't leap first. He just has to react. But at the end of the day, he's correcting his mistakes. The under-23 team still have a chance to make it to Tokyo.
Oh, I'm so happy.
They are only second behind South Africa, because, like I said, of the earlier Imama troubles. But Nigeria restored, restored themselves a little bit with this 3-1 win. I think he has a fantastic pool of youth talent that he shouldn't be struggling with to make it to Tokyo. Then again, I said this about the Super Falcons trying to get to Tokyo for the Olympics, and they didn't qualify. So I'm glad that Nigeria won. I'm impressed by the talent we have because for me, when I watch youth teams, I generally like to see where they'll fit in the Super Eagles. How long it will take to get them there? Will there be a gap or will it be a smooth transition? If we're going by what they say their ages are, it looks like it's going to be a smooth transition. Because Awoni is there, the Wally brothers are there. You're looking at young players saying, okay, hopefully there's something wrong. There's something for Nigeria. So that's what I look forward to seeing. But I'm not necessarily impressed with how Imama handles them. Perhaps I need to give him a little more time. But he just seems to react not. He's not a forward thinker for me so far that I've seen. Let's wait and see. But congratulations to us. At least the first lap we won one
I'm
match.
so glad.
Let's see how we can overtake South Africa and take the automatic ticket.
Yeah.
That would be nice. That would be good to
That'd
see.
be good. At least we have one team playing football.
Mhm.
Giant of Africa. We have to play football now.
But what if they don't?
Chai.
What if? All right, let's move to the next story. Now, Raw, still in Nigeria, head coach of the Super Eagles, Gunnar Raw, has identified 6 players that could star when his side tackles Benin Republic in Wednesday's 2021 African Cup of Nations qualifier. It's going down today. Raw told reporters in his pre-match press conference in New York ahead of this Wednesday's clash in a statement that read, and I quote, "I do not know how many young players will start because I have to see how they are after the traveling yesterday. What is sure is that we will have at least Awazem or Ola. We will have Aribo if he's ready, but he is not on the 23. We will have Osimhen, who played on Saturday night. Yesterday he was okay, so I think he'll be ready. We'll have Chukwueze. Yeah, he played only 45 minutes in his club, so it's possible to start the game. Kalu played on Friday, which is good, so he has a chance to start."
Yes, Genaro is going to have to be struggling with, like I said, recovery. Some players that flew in, played on Saturday. I saw them Saturday night. Sunday, they were already in Nigeria.
Imagine.
Guy.
No time to rest.
Calm down. What's the hurry?
Mm.
But he's going to have to look through that recovery and then find out who is not just fit, but who is ready, who has the stamina to play through. Nigeria faces the Squirrels of Benin.
That name makes me.
I just don't like it. I like on a continent of lions and eagles.
I'm telling you, they have squirrels. I would love to understand the reasoning behind that.
It's just
These are they scurry around.
I can't hack it myself, but
The
I
real
guess
question for me is who named them?
I guess we'll find out by 5 p.m. today. but it's not going to be easy. It's going to be tough. Like I said, no more minnows in football. The smaller teams they may not think that they're out to beat you, but they can stop you from getting maximum points. That's what most of them can do now. And so Genoro is going to have to squeeze out these results. You have to remember that Genoro in recent times has had rumors about instability. He's been approached by DRC Congo and the rest, and they have not paid his salary. You will go if the money is right. You will go. It's national team. It's not like it's club football where you have to last long. So there's a lot of he has to deal with that off-pitch drama. And then he still has to get the results for the Super Eagles, because we don't want to know what your family problems are. Just Super Eagles have to win. Just deliver the results. So today he has to deal with that, and then he has to also deal with his team selection and see how well the Super Eagles can play. They haven't had enough time, but again, in national team, you don't really have all the time to together, especially in the FIFA window. So you have to pick those that have been playing football for their clubs, those that are in good form, and everybody that is selected has to hit the ground running. Which is why I'm a bit suspicious of Chukwueze starting, because he's had his own time. He's a fantastic player, but he's had the time out on the sidelines with injury. So throwing him there, it might not be his best time, but you never know. Some people just save their best form for the national team. So let's wait and see how Nigeria squares up against Benin today. The match is at 5 p.m. So please hurry home and support the Super Eagles.
Hurry home. Super Eagles is playing tonight. We cannot wait for them to play. Let them qualify, please.
No, so what I need to read this message, on WhatsApp, because after I'm done reading this message, you understand why you should be part of and support LIS International and their conferences and everything they're about. Chibike sent in this message. He reminded us today, asking if we read this to you, but I have to repeat it. He said, "Please, where did you guys find Tega? I used to tune out at 8 a.m. on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and return at 9 a.m. sometimes because I'm not a sports person, couldn't be bothered. But I stayed tuned a few times, and boy, Tega's analysis has woken up an interest in sports for me, balanced and extremely broad, sport, every league, every category. In front and behind the scenes analysis. Oh, my wife and I have 3 daughters, so I applaud women doing awesome things for more reasons than one. I still do not follow sports though, but that's because I can catch up on every aspect just by listening to you guys with Tega. Well done. I love how she's confounding convention. How does she have time for her life? She seems to watch every game and match of every sport. Read up on every behind the scenes situation around the world. Chibike Roy, thank you very much for your
Chibike Roy,
message.
thank you so much.
I'll tell you, this is the first time she's smiling this morning after getting to the office a bit drunk on sleep.
Yeah,
or lack of
and
it.
the next story will tell you the reason why she didn't have enough sleep.
Thank
And
you,
just-
Chibike Roy. I have to frame this message.
You-
One of the other
should,
reasons
yeah.
why I read it is just because I want to be on good books today. So
Who Chibike?
no, Tega.
Tega.
No, you can't. You have to buy me breakfast for that. I'm cheap like
By
that.
the way, if you ever want
Sure.
to be in Tega's good books, all you need to do is get her English breakfast,
Yes.
something really fancy.
Through her
She
manager,
has
Val.
very expensive taste in food. All right, let's go on to our next story. Dominic Thiem beat Novak Djokovic as Roger Federer gets ATP Finals campaign on track. Thiem stunned Djokovic to become the first player into the semi-finals at the ATP Finals in London. The Austrian won a thriller 6-7, 5-7, 6-3, 7-6, 7-5 to advance, ensuring Djokovic and Roger Federer will fight for the other place when they meet in their final group match on Thursday.
Okay, yes, let's start with Federer. Now, Roger Federer came. So I made a mistake on what's today? Wednesday. So I made a mistake on Monday. I actually thought that Roger Federer's next match would be against Djokovic, but no, it was against Matteo Berrettini. Maybe to set up for an epic final match between the both guys.
Yeah.
Between both guys. So Roger Federer faced squared up to Matteo Berrettini, who didn't stand any chance. For some reason, Matteo Berrettini has had a good season,
Yeah.
but pitched up against the top three, they made him look like an amateur, like he hasn't achieved anything. Like he should have been playing the next gen as opposed to the ATP finals. So Roger Federer made light work of him. It was easy training session, and he won his match. Then set up for the big night, Dominic Thiem against Novak Djokovic. I will have to say this, even if I still think that he's going to stay in the smaller press room. Dominic Thiem has had a fantastic season.
You don't forgive.
No,
Forgive him now.
I can't let go. Too much sauce on that. But he's had a fantastic season.
Yeah.
And yes, sometimes there were deep in form, sometimes there were errors, but if you look over the season as a whole, you can't but give him at least an A. Maybe not an A plus, but an A. And then he comes to this tournament and it's lights out tennis he's playing. Like he saved his peak form for this particular week, which also meant that they played till past midnight, and it was not funny. That's not what you should do. I'm too old to be staying up past midnight. But Djokovic comes into the match, understands that Dominic Thiem is going to be a tough one, but Djokovic being Djokovic, he knows how to outlast players, he knows how to return. So it seems that the arsenal that Dominic has, Djokovic can deal with it. So Djokovic breaks Dominic Thiem, and it looks like everything is going according to plan. Then Dominic Thiem breaks back and refuses to shift ground. So it was Dominic Thiem playing Djokovic. In fact, Dominic Thiem played 3 types of tennis yesterday. In the first set, where he had to struggle with Djokovic, who happens to be one of the best baseline players, he marked him point for point on the baseline. So he played like Djokovic in the first set. Then comes into the second set and plays like Rafa Nadal. Did not give up anything. Did not shift ground. It was now Djokovic that blinked first, and then Djokovic lost that set. Then in the third set, those one-handed backhands were as exquisite, as effective, and as devastating as a peak form Federer's backhand. It was as if Djokovic should, because there was nothing Djokovic should do. You play to his backhand, Dominic Thiem will answer with a winner. You play to his forehand, it's over. There was no answer. And then I think Dominic Thiem got comfortable a little bit, because after he broke Djokovic, it looked like he was going on to win the match, and then Djokovic broke back. I think it was that he was comfortable, and then he played a bad game.
Yeah.
And then Dominic Thiem woke up again and took out Djokovic like a small boy. It wasn't pretty for Djokovic, because Djokovic did many things in the game. He tried to waste time as usual. He tried to stretch his leg. He even did a full split one time to win a point and still lost the point. Then there was a time during the break he even meditated. Nothing worked. Dominic Thiem won this match.
Wait, how
That's
long?
fantastic.
Wait, I want to even ask you a question. All this extra show, how long as a tennis player are you giving for extras? You need to go, but
Yeah, so you don't have much time for extras, but sometimes you can stretch those seconds. Just stretch it a little bit. And so during one break, I just saw, I saw Djokovic. He had closed his eyes. He was meditating. I was like, if you like chant, this match is over. Just leave it. But it was a good one. Djokovic put up a good fight, which he should. He's trying to get world number one. But Dominic Thiem answered on every front.
Wow.
So Dominic Thiem is now through to the semis. It's now Federer and Djokovic that have to fight for the last spot in that group. And the way I'm looking at it, I'm not sure about Federer.
yeah.
So it looks like Federer may be going home.
Yeah.
With
All right,
Berrettini.
we're not going home. We're still here, but we will go on a break. When we come back in a few minutes, we'll be continuing with sports. And all you guys have already started commenting about Ryan Sterling. We're getting there very shortly.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've noticed this even while I'm driving, that you people's bed never shows under your voice.
Really?
On every show.
So
So you
30
guys are always talking on dry air. Your headphones would make you think that it's
is
there,
loud, yeah?
but it's not there at all.
No, even I need to change my. Please let them give
So
me
we
new
should take it up
headphones
to.
now.
We should
please.
always be on 30 though.
On 30, because sometimes
Where is it normally?
mine it's usually so when it's on 30, right?
It's
20
lower.
is
It
where
sounds-
I normally leave mine.
20.
At. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, maybe we'll try 20.
Yeah.
That means about when we listen to it on our headphones,
Put
it
it on
sounds
20,
really
on
loud.
20 now.
I'll
I'm
do on
gonna
20
check
and
it.
you listen.
Yeah.
But mine, so Valentine or when I check this will let me know the volumes because only one ear is working.
Not your voice. So it's your voice that you normally see on
Yeah,
there.
I'm even saying even voice levels and all that. I'm just even trying to make a case. And so the only times I can hear maybe a properly balanced one is when I use my my white
okay.
my Apple headphones. But I can't find them now.
Just try 20 this time and I'll listen.
Okay, I'll try. But please help us now with our headphones. We have comments on YouTube that we haven't taken. Our YouTube fam. Hello, YouTube family.
Hello, YouTube family. See the bags under my eye? I really want an Eric Kaiser breakfast. So it's going to take me. I don't like it though. If I use my money to buy this breakfast, I will not enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there's some food that is so free. The taste is different.
I'm telling you.
Okay,
If
I
I
see your shoes now.
if I-
Nice one.
if
But
I use
how
my money
how many shoes do you have out?
he has like a wardrobe of shoes. He said, Maria Carey, you don't know his vein.
Do you have a walk-in closet? Do you have a room for clothes? I can tell. Even it's not just shoes though.
Not for clothes, for shoes.
No, so you like shoes that you're saying?
Not really.
Shoes, you have a wardrobe for shoes, you have a wardrobe for watches, you have a wardrobe for
I wish I had a wardrobe for watches.
you do how many watches do you have? Exactly.
It's not much.
6 nice ones. It's much though. You have money.
No, he's vain.
He is actually really
Vain people will find money.
Val is actually really vain. Like vain.
It's not, don't say really. It's not that
No,
bad.
you are really vain. You want to be honest with
Val
you.
is bad.
You are
Remaining
really
small,
vain.
you will buy powder. As well.
I usually don't say I don't like. Do you have a powder? Do you have powder once in a while to use?
No!
It's a lie.
I am not
So
that
you've
vain.
never used powder on your face to go out before.
Before,
Don't
come
lie.
on. Since
Don't
I was
lie.
born. How can you say that?
You see,
I'm so general.
you see.
Oh,
No,
the
That's
baby.
so general.
It's a lie.
He said,
It's
"Wait,
not
baby."
general.
How can you remember what
As
happened
an
when you were a
adult.
baby?
Which of you, when you were a baby, was not
It's a
Oh,
powdered?
which kind of baby?
I mean, as an adult.
As
As
an
an
adult.
adult.
No. I don't do powder.
Val,
Val is one of
if
you remember
never
that?
used
No,
powder-
remember that enchantor powder. That time when
Yes!
Val was
Val, you use powder. Man, this Val's routine. Val's routine is that you comb your hair, you first use that on the shin, put it on your hair, then brush your hair, put powder, then lick his lips.
See my roommates. We live together. Apparently. Wow,
Oh,
you guys.
vain! You're a vain man. No,
Yeah.
my own is not
Yeah,
yeah.
good looking
I'm
man.
vain. Oh, thank you. I'm vain. Thank you.
Just say, in order to look this good, I have to take care of myself.
Just
Let them
sounds
call
weird.
police.
Oh my gosh. How will you describe me? Digital creator, public figure. Public figure is so general.
Yeah, but you're a public figure though.
Is it?
Yeah, you're public
Yeah, but it's very general. What else?
Yeah.
general.
Okay, so see the categories.
We are coming back in
I can't be reading
75
all
seconds.
There's digital creator, entrepreneur.
I'm not an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I am, but that alone doesn't qualify me.
But entrepreneur covers more than public figure.
Yeah, right? Right.
No, but the reason why, because of
Entrepreneur
I'm
is
thinking
more
of
like
when you
business
become
man.
verified.
What are you doing this?
The reason why you are famous and why you should be verified is because you're a public figure. They won't give you for entrepreneur. Do you get? Yeah, because guys, we'll come back now.
Do what she said.
Keep it tuned, keep it locked, keep it on Smooth 98.1. This is the Locker Room 981. I'm Mairo.
And my name is Valentine. Good morning, Valentine. Know who that is?
I was about to correct you. And then, of course, we have Tega, whose surname is Supreme.
Take us
Nice
through.
one, nice one.
All right, so we have some comments on YouTube. Shout out to our YouTube fans, family actually. Thank you so much. Quadri Adeoba says, I can imagine if England would have sent Sterling away if they had France or Belgium to play. Southgate should have handled it better. We're getting to that story shortly. And then Ojo Oladele says, guys, good morning. We have to be careful because squirrels are very sneaky in nature. They can be good spoilers. True or false? Squirrels. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and then Dominic Team finally showing some maturity, says Aderoba. And then Ojo says, we see you guys, enjoy yourselves. So that's what happens behind the scenes. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, on WhatsApp, Labs is saying, I agree with Chibike. I don't speak or understand the language of sports or watch sport, but I linger in the car to listen to Tega. It's literally like sports for dummies like me. So easy to understand. The humor, the simplicity of language, almost like a storyteller, and it isn't noisy. Kudos, Tega, and the rest of the crew.
Yep.
It is.
All right, so let's take messages now. This next one here is from Randolph. Randolph says, Dominic was just amazing. Those backhand returns were just so powerful. And yeah, so I saw the splits, just didn't see the need for it. Big ups, Tega. One day I'll buy you English breakfast, Randolph. Randolph, I'm her manager, so come through me.
No.
Diego Kingston, please. Diego Kingston says, good job from Imama and his boys. It won't be fair to miss out on the trip to Tokyo. I can accept that for the Falcons, not the dream team. Please, if Uncle Raw wants to go to Congo, I'll gladly contribute to his flight ticket because I've never and will never be a fan of his tactics.
Ah, but Nigerians are deep, Sha.
I'm telling you.
But let's talk about the Sterling Gomez bust up.
So a day after Liverpool beat Manchester City 3-1 at Anfield, where the pair confronted each other towards the end of the match, both players became involved in another exchange when the England squad convened at the National Training Centre at Burton-upon-Trent. Southgate told the news conference, and I quote, Raheem, that's Sterling, explained that for a brief moment his emotions ran over. It would be correct to say that that's not the same for Joe. That's Joe Gomez. It's important to always be as fair as possible on any decision I make. Quite a number of our senior players have been active in discussions. It's not up to me to discuss the details of the incident. In the end, I have to find the right solution for the group. You try to be fair at all times dealing with the players.
Okay, so firstly, I must say this. It's not up to him to discuss the details of the incident, but the details also help to understand why you threw Raheem Sterling under the bus.
Yeah.
Because the details that are coming out are a particular narrative, and I don't think it's fair on one side. And I would say this though. He made an important statement when he said Raheem Sterling said he admitted that his emotions ran over, but Joe Gomez didn't. And it's easy for Joe Gomez's emotions, according to them, not to run over. He was the winner in the situation, whether with the national team or with Liverpool. So from what I can piece together of the different stories that they don't want to tell us the full story, Raheem Sterling shows up at the training ground, walks in at the training ground, and Joe Gomez and his other people are laughing at him for losing 3-1. Now, I hear men banter a lot about everything, but apparently that was still a sore point for, or a sour point for Raheem Sterling.
Yeah.
The match was just the day before. He comes into the camp and people are laughing at him. Perhaps he wasn't prepared for the banter. And then he says, and so he looks at Joe Gomez because he's not going to look at Harry Kane, who is struggling in his team form. He's going to look at Joe Gomez, who was the guy that was on the team that beat him the day before. And he says, "You think you're the big man now?" And then he grabs him by the throat, and then there's a scuffle. And the players had to hold both of them back. Of course, yeah, players had to separate both of them. And then Harry Kane now runs to go and tell Gareth Southgate. Now, I know some people have said Harry Kane is a tattletale, and I agree. But he's also the captain of the team, so it was his duty at the end of the day to report the incident. So he runs to the school principal. Principal, have you heard? 2 boys were fighting in the yard.
Two fighting.
And of course, Raheem Sterling had calmed down after that. He apologized to Joe Gomez. He apologized to the teammates. But Gareth Southgate sent him home. Actually, I actually sent him home. And then some players intervened, and they now said, "Okay, you're not going to go home, but we'll just drop you from the Montenegro game." And that was it. And so players and people were now shouting that why would he throw Raheem Sterling on the bus? Why would he do this? Why would he do that? The truth of the matter is, I totally agree that Southgate had to deal with the situation. At the end of the day, he had to come to his table to deal with the situation. My big problem is a narrative, and I understand that because Raheem Sterling apologized. Of course, he didn't have to put his hands on anybody. Banter is banter, and if you didn't find it funny, you could have walked away. So no need to be grabbing people by the throat. Not right. But you also have to address the issue of provocation, because I don't like this nonsense where people are now getting away with provocation and saying, "I only provoked you. It was your place to react." Bottle is all I can say. But we need to address this issue of provocation. It was obviously a sore point for him.
Yes.
It was too soon. I would laugh, but it was too soon. So don't do that. Gareth Southgate is coming out to say it wasn't only my decision. There are some big players that came out in decision. A lot of the big players he's talking about were not happy that he caught Raheem Sterling. They're like, we fight in the yard all the time, even with our clubs. So, and he doesn't even get out to the press. And there are so many fights that haven't gotten out to the press. The ones that got out to the press are the ones that if you ask me, I think that they wanted to leak to the press. So what are you saying? At the end of the day, it wasn't handled. I understood why he had to take a disciplinary decision, but it wasn't handled totally well. And this is not the first time it's happened in the national team. I remember one time Real Madrid and Barcelona players couldn't stand each other in the Spanish camp. It was war. Like they would go to the El Clasico, they would play, they would fight, and they would transfer it to the Spanish camp. You could tell. So Sergio Ramos and Piqué are the centre backs for Spain. So they would stand in the middle. You could tell that by their body language that these people, if you leave them, it's shares that they would tear.
Exactly.
But they will play together. So Spain found a way to walk over it with things and team bondings, and eventually they're not quite there yet, but they're close. And it's going to happen when you have a league that is competitive, and there are now a lot of big teams that are vying for something. The bottom line is to find a way and manage it. Don't throw anybody under the bus. The one thing the Spanish team didn't do, the Barcelona players are right, or the Spanish players are right. No, don't do that. I think he could have handled it a little better, but I don't agree that he shouldn't have disciplined the players. I just think he should have disciplined both players, not one.
Well, Walinium says Harry Kane is just a snitch, Joe. He should have been quiet after Raheem apologized. People are not happy with that. And then only our Twitter comment for today, Ifi Anene says, team was phenomenal yesterday. 51 wins. Zverev beating Nadal and team winning Djokovic is just epic. But there's something about the Grand Slams that makes the big three turn on their beast mode. Else, we should have a fresh GS winner in 2020.
Yeah.
And we have more messages. Yomzi sent in this one. It says, forget Kane, Nami, but why won't he just hold the both of them as a captain? Why run into gates?
Exactly.
Oh boy.
I agree with you. Well, Tega, it's been fun. It's been fun. Thank you so much for coming. And thank you for always bringing it to us hot, fresh, and spicy. You can follow Tega at Tega Supreme and, follow her analysis on the match tonight, Nigeria in Benin Republic at 5 p.m. tonight. And on at Tega Supreme on Twitter, find out the work she's doing with ladies in sports at LIS International. Make sure you also use the hashtag LockerRoom981 so we can see what you're talking about, so you're chatting about in the world of sports. From Valentine and myself, we're still here, so we're not going anywhere. But we will be switching gears. Don't forget, we're going to be giving out something during the Lagos Talks 981 hour. So make sure you're staying tuned here on Smooth 98.1.
But we have a special that's coming up, the conversation about taxes and understanding the tax system in Nigeria. We have two special guests, lawyers and professionals in the tax system, just to make you understand better.